All right. Hello, hello, and welcome to Connect In. Connect In is a weekly broadcast, blog, vlog, video podcast. I know, so many words, right? Don't you just get tired of words? Anyway, Connect In is a weekly experience conversation about the benefits of why you want to get out of your head and back into your heart. And, there's a couple gazillion themes running through my head right now, but what really struck me is I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he said something about the pandemic as being the great pause. And that phrase, to be honest with you, just kind of reverberated through my being because really that's what all this is about. We could talk about we can talk about viruses and world health and human health. And, on some level, there's also a spiritual lesson here, right? And the spiritual lesson is, or the spiritual opportunity is really about having the opportunity to get clear on what our heart holds essential. Pre pandemic, and even now, as we start to get back to normal, you know, there's traffic, there's crowds that that overwhelm is starting to come back in. And it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to come back into the patterns that we had in the past, right? So when we're stressed and overwhelmed and thinking and planning and doing all this stuff up here, we cannot get into our body. Or if we do, we're only in our body a little bit. We can't listen to our inner guidance. And I don't know about you, but I have spent years and years and years of accumulating certifications, diplomas, licensing, striving, because I thought all those things would help define me as a good person, as helpful, as a good human being, um, or really just good enough. But they don't really help. I mean, they help on some level. They give us confidence. And the truth is, at a certain point, like if I am accumulating or looking at other programs, like, oh, yeah, I should try this. And what about this? It's like, it's all a distraction. All that busy is a distraction. Somehow, we as women in particular, have gotten the message that we don't have enough in us to be valid. We tend to look outside ourselves for teachers, gurus, permission, all of that. But really the truth is we need to take back our power. We need to be empowered with our inner vision, right? So when you're in your head, I'm in my head, when we're up here, there's always the woulda, shoulda, coulda, the grasping, the busy, right? And before the great pause, we were all in a spin. Spin according to what works or doesn't work for us in particular. Do you all know what that feels like? If so, hit a comment, thumbs up. Yeah, I got caught in the spin. But in this great pause, we had the opportunity to pause and to pause, to reflect, to freak out, to readjust. I think sometimes that's why people like to go to beaches or islands because there's that opportunity of a simpler life. And as stressful as the pandemic itself was, during the Great Pause, we had a little bit less of, we had a little bit more of a simpler life. Like we weren't driving everywhere. You know, I know we had all our own other special traumas, but I feel like in the midst of the crazy and the busy, and as that started to drop away, like after the first month, in the midst of figuring out how to live in this new way, there was also the opportunity to, and I've talked to tons of people about this, people started hobbies again. Like there was time for hobbies in the Great Pause. People were baking, reading more, doing, things that were on their to-do list or I hate the phrase, but bucket list. The things that they could do at home that they've been meaning to do for years. But that doesn't have to end now. That those happy moments, those moments of really connecting into something that gave you joy, you can still take. Everybody talks about busy and no time for busy, but to do the things they enjoy. But really, the thing that you enjoy could just take 5 minutes. But as we start coming up here in our head and creating this kind of creating busy again, creating chaos in our schedule, in how and what we want to do life, it creates a lot of stress. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can come back into your body, into your heart. You can get unstressed and grounded and centered. You can learn to trust and follow your inner guidance. And it starts simply by coming back into your body. So take a moment. Just take a moment, close your eyes or soften your eyes. When your eyes are soft, your heart's soft. Close your eyes, pause, breathe. Feel the weight of your body on the chair and your feet. Just notice what's going on in your body. Are you kind of like in a squirrel moment? Here, 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 here. What's that? What's that? Or you're like, oh God, I'm stiff, or whatever that word is that keeps coming up about your body. Just notice how you feel. All right, we're going to try a little experiment, right? I'm going to light a candle. Candle is a beautiful representation of taking a pause. So we had a self-imposed pause. Now we can have a self-created pause. Breathe. Allow your breath to come into your chest, down your belly, in your hips, down to your feet. Breath, belly, feet. Notice how you feel now. Breath, belly, feet, believe it or not, is one of the best, simplest ways to get out of your head and back into your body. So now that we are in a calmer space, a more centered space, check in with your body now. What do you notice? Is the squirrel a little slower? Is the shoulda, woulda, coulda a little bit more at bay? We all pop into our head. It's part of who we are. It's part of our culture. It's part of the technology that we use that pops us up here. But the truth is, You have to learn to come back into your body. It's the only way we're going to survive chaos. I sometimes think about a top. Do you remember those tops that spin? And when you get a good spin on it, it's like, it's all this spin crazy around it, but yet it stays really centered. So, in a way, when you get out of your head and back into your body, to have your own personal pause into yourself, everything around you is still whirling and twirling, but your reaction to it is different. So that's one really important reason why you want to come back into your body. The other is to trust your inner wisdom, to trust your guidance, to trust your intuition, your ideas, your dreams, to trust and follow. All of that is led by your heart. So those of you who are working in an office and you have all these, you're doing, you have all these, you have this amazing idea, and you just keep figuring out and sorting it out, and it goes on for years before you have the courage to bring forth your idea. That thing that holds you back is your mind. The thing that drives you is your heart. So full happiness, if you will, or a way to live a heart-centered life is to align your heart and body, right? Your head and your heart and your body. And then that way you can be guided by your intellect and your intuition. Which means when you have this really great idea, you have the inner guidance, the inner strength and centeredness inside you to go, hey, I have this idea. It's not fully formed, but I want to just put it out there, right? That's huge. So what about, yeah, give me a hearts, yeah. Give me a heart emojicon if you've had that experience where you just hold back because it's not fully percolated. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So what about in the great pause, or maybe before the great pause, you had a dream, you had visions, you wanted to do something different. Like you weren't quite satisfied with all of your life. There's definitely parts of your life that you love and adore, and there are some parts that are, just not satisfying. Now, you have a choice, right? In the Great Pause or before the Great Pause, we had this choice. We can either stay in our Groundhog Day, make your coffee, get dressed, go to work, come home, do what you got to do, have dinner, go to bed, rinse and repeat. Like, you can make that choice or watch TV all night, something like that. Your choice, right? But think back for a minute. Think back for a moment before the Great Pause. And what was that dream? Like, was there something that you really wanted to do? Maybe go back to school, maybe do a different job, maybe explore a different career. What is it that you were dreaming about that always kind of got put on the back burner? Yeah, you can go ahead and share that on the comments if you want, or just hold on to it, think into it, feel into, does that dream feel inspired? Does it feel like it's kind of still there waiting to come forward, or has it gotten pushed totally on the back burner? You have a right to be deeply happy. You have a right to live your life from a heart-centered space. You have a right to trust your inner wisdom. So, what would it be like if you were centered and grounded And you can say, yes, this is what I want. And take the steps to do that. I want to start a new career, a new hobby, a new job, a new relationship, a new family, whatever that is, or a family period. When your head and your heart and your body are aligned, life is effortless. You feel like you are pushing a boulder up the hill all the time. That is not an effortless life. That is not a life being led by your heart. Close your eyes again for a moment and feel into when you think about all the things that you have to do. How does that feel in your body? And now think about the things you would love to do. What does that do to your energy? Before the mind kicks in and says, but you haven't done it, so blah, 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 right? That first thought of, I have a dream. What does that feel like in your body? I think that's why visioning boards are important and guided visualizations, because they help you prepare the way for your dream. Like you see images up on the wall. It's like, yes, one day that's what I want. Right? It's intention, it's focus, it's direction. But it's guided by the heart. Your heart guides you to get there. So that's reason number 3 to come out of your head and into your body, right? So you can allow your heart to guide you. So I talk a lot about happiness, deep happiness. And deep happiness for me is being authentically you, being in your power, listening to your inner wisdom, knowing how you're being guided, and also knowing the tools that help you navigate when all of that goes wrong, like when you're being pushed around by your inner critic or your saboteur, or you are being overcome by self-doubt, right? It's important to have tools to learn how to navigate that, to bring you back to your empowered, sovereign, authentic self. That is deep happiness. So I want to invite you, if you are being called, if you are yearning for a change, if you are yearning to be and do, to be something different, to be fully you, that's what I want to say. Go ahead to DominiCelebrate.com and look at Deep Happiness. Deep Happiness is my flagship program that is starting at the end of the month. It is an 8-week online program to give you the tools and some focus so that you can live a deeply happy life. Deep Happiness not only helps you navigate the head and the heart, it also helps navigate when your energy goes off center. It also helps you to dream and to bring forth your dreams. And most importantly, it allows you to become you again. So join me on this soul-searching 8-week journey. Again, go to DominiCelebrate.com, check it out, and reach out if you have any questions. So again, come into your body. What do you notice is there? Where is your attention? Where is your energy? Is your heart going, yes, I want something different? Then please go ahead and look at Deep Happiness. You will be a different person afterwards. So until then, take a deep breath in, bring it down to your throat, your chest, down to your belly. Feel the weight of you on the earth. kind of do a nice little hello, body. Thank you for guiding me. Hello, heart. I would love to be heart centered and live a deeply happy, authentic life. Help guide me now. Okay. Until next week, breath, belly, feet, and check out Deep Happiness.